Guys, welcome to the Physique Factory podcast with me, James, and Conor Moran. So, how's it going?
I'm nervous. I'm on edge. Celtic and Rangers today. Big game.
What was the result last time?
Oh, well, Celtic pumped them last time. 3-0 to Celtic in the first half. Could have been about 6-0 up, to be honest.
Oh, nice.
Didn't really need to play the second half. Who do you support, James?
I'm a Man United fan, unfortunately.
Man United.
Shocking yesterday. 1-1.
Well, who were they playing yesterday?
Leicester at home. I mean, the last 20 minutes, we got absolutely dicked by them. So
yeah, Leicester aren't too bad, to be fair.
Yeah, they're a good team. Not a bad team.
Took our man Brendan Rodgers as well.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, he came from that, didn't
halfway through a season.
Yeah.
Fucking abandoned us.
It was at Liverpool before that, weren't
it? I was at Liverpool, but I don't know if that was the last. Was it the last job he had before Celtic?
I have no idea.
I won't lie. I watch Celtic games and that's it. I'm not a world of football knowledge. This isn't turning into a football podcast now.
Might as well just turn it into that. Get Fabrizio Romano on.
I wonder if Brendan Rodgers would come on for an interview. Why did you fucking leave Celtic, you snake? Thought you were a supporter. They'll say that.
So in terms of training and whatnot, how was that going?
Well, I've just finished my wee tidy up phase. I don't even want to call it a cut because I'm still pretty chubby in bodybuilding terms.
What calories did you get down to?
I was actually doing like 2,500, which is fucking super low for me because like when I done that kind of prep thing in 2020, which I never ended up actually doing a show, but I got show ready in that year, and I only went down to like 2,500 that year. And it was more gradual. This was more aggressive, I suppose. Yeah. Like just get in and out almost. But yeah, it's time to push up again and build some muscle. I actually made this wee tally thing on Google Sheets where it's like I was looking at my training career, if you want to call it that, and like how many months I've spent cutting and how many months I've spent like building muscle. And I was like, shit, should probably spend more time building muscle. Yeah. especially being natural as well. You need to like drive your food up and get the calories in and spend some time building muscle. And it's shit.
Definitely. Everyone's just obsessed with being lean all the time and staying in a deficit or not being in a surplus. They're just scared of getting, I'm not saying get ridiculously fat in the off season, but people are scared of putting on a bit of weight, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. And you see those guys that compete year after year and don't really take much time off, and not very often you see them get better.
Yeah, that's it. There's no progress at all, is there?
Especially naturally. Like a natural guy's taking a 2-3 month off season, it's going to do fuck all. It's going to do absolutely nothing. Apart from what you call him, Chris McCready, he seems to get away with
it. Yeah, he's competing all the time, isn't
he? Yeah, I think he took last year off, to be fair. But
as fuck.
Yeah, he's just fucking
unreal.
But anyway, but yeah, most natural guys can't really get away with that. Fair fucking play if you can, but I can't. I still need more shoulders, still need more arms, still need more everything.
I keep seeing loads of posts from like top coaches, and they're saying, "Oh, there's another 7 or 8 pounds that have gained in the off season this year," and it mean the off season was only about 6 months, and I was like, "Fucking hell!" Compared the stage weight, so 7 or 8 pounds in stage weight, I was like, from year to year, that's crazy, and they've only been in a surplus for 6 months max.
If you're doing that every year, you'd just be fucking Big Ramy in no time.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid, but obviously that's not natural.
No, that's it. But I think it's probably going to be the same when you're not natural as well. Like, surely you can't just, I mean, you could probably make more progress in a lesser amount of time, but surely the same kind of principles apply. It's like,
yeah, there's got to be a limit.
Yeah.
There'll be a ceiling there, won't there?
And you've got to spend some time just like eating some food and fucking pushing the calories up and pushing the training up as well.
Definitely.
Not that I would know what it's like being on, but yeah, it's definitely, I'd imagine it's definitely going to be similar.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Are you when are you starting your little diet for a photo shoot? Because I remember you telling me that.
Well, that was what that's what this was going to be, and I'm not going to lie, I can't.
Couldn't be asked. Being that busy.
Yeah, well, it's not so much that, it's just, I suppose, like on the bigger scale, what I actually want to achieve, I do definitely want to compete again. I think that's cemented in my mind the last few months. I've not competed since 2018, and
same here.
Yeah, so like with that kind of goal of, I've got a lot of trophies there that are all second or third place. There's no first places there, and I want to win a show, and I think I just need to put on more size, and it's just going to take time. And although like the photo shoot might have been slightly handy for my business, I don't think it would be, I don't think it make night and day difference. Basically, having like some professional photos of me. So like the main goal is to get up there and win a show, really. Even if it's just a qualifier, just try and win a show. So pushing it to that extreme was probably going to be a waste of time for me this year. It was just a bit of a tidy up, get my appetite back, and then push up again. And cool. So the main goal is to win the BNBF Scottish. Doesn't have to be the Scottish, but it'd be nice to win the Scottish.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you, James? How's your training going?
Good. I'm starting prep on the 2nd of May this year, and then the first show is going to be late August. So regional qualifier for the Arnold, Two Bros.
All right, yeah, cool.
So doing that, and then I've got like PCA, FitX, and a couple of those.
You could do a few shows, yeah.
Yeah, probably looking at about like 5 or 6 maybe for like qualifying for the finals, hopefully.
I don't know if it was you that was saying, or was it when we had Josh on the last time, whoever it was, someone was saying that FitX run quite a good show.
Yeah, they're really good. I think they're like up and coming big time. FitX, PCA, Two Bros, I think they're like the biggest 3 in the UK at the moment that have, not natural shows. Not saying that you don't
untested have to shows.
Yeah, untested shows.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, so with the BNBF, they run these posing clubs. So next week, actually, next Sunday, they run one at the Body Academy in Perth there. That's a Scottish one. And then they've kind of got them all over. There's like a Northern one, there's like, a Southern one, things like that. And they're kind of all over the UK. There's Northern Irish one as well, actually. And they've got like these week kind of clubs set up until like, the kind of show season starts, and you'll get like pro bodybuilders or people that have competed quite a lot of times kind of running these these kind of posing classes. And just take people through their posing and kind of teach them. And I think that's something that's like, I think they run that really, really well. I think it's really, really good that they do that, because how many times do you see like someone maybe competing for the first time, they might have a great physique, but they're they don't know how to present it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
And like I used these personally when I like first started as well. Like I was going to them, obviously with them being at the Body Academy, there's no reason not to go to them. But like, yeah, that's where I got shown a lot of like the posing and things like that. And I wouldn't say I'm amazing at posing, but I'm certainly half decent at it.
Cool.
And it's all kind of thanks to that. So I don't know if you guys get anything like that for any of the federations.
No, I don't have. It's maybe a PCA one. I think there's a couple of PCA ones I've seen, maybe knocking around in like Birmingham, I think it was. But I gotta be honest, I'm absolutely shit at posing, so I need to go to them.
Yeah. Well, you'd probably be more than welcome at the BNBF one, to be fair. I'm trying to think where the Northern one is, but if you went to the BNBF page, they're definitely on there.
Cool.
Definitely check it out, because like the posing is going to be much the same, I suppose, for here natural.
It's got to be, hasn't it? Unless they're testing for the posing.
Well, that's it. But yeah, it's probably an undervalued part of the process of like competing in like a physique competition, I would say.
Yeah, the presentation's got to be on point, hasn't it? Else you're just not doing that 16 to 20 week prep justice, are you?
So one of my guys that's wanting to compete this year, was taking them through some posing drills for the first time, and see when you're like kind of off season, not quite show lean yet or anything like that, it's quite awkward to pose, isn't it? Like to get some of the like twisting motions and things like that, like hitting a side chest or something like that. Even where I'm at right now, I find it awkward to kind of hit a side chest or something like that. So I forgot how awkward it is when you first start as well, like just trying to hit some of these poses. It's difficult.
It's contracting the muscles that you want to contract, isn't it, in the show?
It's fucking hackering. It's harder than training.
It's really keeping those abs braced when you're on stage, and I was like, fucking hell, that's hard work. I mean, it is harder than training.
I remember one show I done, it was a BNBF Northern Irish. That was in 2018, actually. Was it that show? Can't remember. Or the one before, it was one in 2018. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, you know how like you pump up backstage? I've been doing like I had like a band under my feet, and I was doing like lateral raises because like I'm aware my shoulders need work, and I was like trying to get them pumped up, and I'm doing all these lateral raises. And I got up on stage and I was like doing my front relax, and I was like, "Fuck, my shoulders are absolutely fucking killing me." And it was just like 15 minutes of pure pain to the fucking shoulders while I was up there trying to pose.
I suppose you don't want that, do you?
No. So anyone that's listening to this and is thinking about competing, maybe like get pumped up, but give yourself a couple of minutes before you get on stage. Recover. I literally went like superset lateral raise right into posing.
Fucking hell. What other stupid stuff have you done like pre-show?
To be fair, I've generally been, again, with like the kind of community, the Body Academy, a lot of people that have competed and things like that, and like Vicky and Guy that run the BNBF that are there, they've kind of made sure you know what you're doing so you don't run into these kind of mistakes, which is really handy, because had I been doing it by myself, I would have made a lot more mistakes.
Yeah, I made the first time I competed, I made a lot of mistakes. Like I was just eat that carb load and eating a shitload of fucking jelly babies and everything. Look on stage, fucking was bloated to fuck, couldn't contract my abs or tense or anything. It was like bloated, and I thought, oh, for fuck's sake.
Quite often getting that kind of thing right, like trying to, I suppose, peak yourself and things like that. Which
definitely.
Yeah, it's going to be trial and error for a lot of people. If you've not got if you've not got like a coach or someone like kind of looking over your shoulder, that's just going to be a bit of trial and error. And it's like, it's one of those things, like it's worth doing, because like, although you might make mistakes, you obviously learn from it and you kind of push on from there. If I don't know if Dane is joining us, but if he did, he would really have a lot to add to this conversation. Fuck knows. I've never heard back from him, but he would have a lot to add to this conversation, because he's a guy that's kind of been around and done quite a few shows and things like that as well. But cool. It's as I say, it's one of those things. It's trial and error. Sometimes you just got to try something and go for it, and if it doesn't work, well, we'll do something different the next time. Exactly. But yeah, don't be afraid to try.
Yeah, I mean, the first show is always fucking terrible, isn't it?
Again, I don't think mine was too bad. I came second in like a junior class when I was like
That's
19 or something. So like, I don't think mine was too bad. And again, I think I'm just lucky the environment I've kind of been in and the people that have been around me to help me. I think I'm just lucky that I kind of landed up that way, because it could have been much worse. I remember the first time I kind of dieted or got myself kind of lean, it wasn't for show or anything, but that was my idea of lean at the time. And if I got on a bodybuilding stage like that, I don't think it would have looked very good. But certainly, to me, it was like my idea of lean at the time. It's probably like where I'm at right now, actually. Just, you can faintly see a six pack. I was like,
oh yeah,
I am shredded. I am mad. But then, until someone shows you something else is possible, that you can get that little bit further, you don't know that it's possible to do that. So yeah, and then
you gotta dig deep to get to that stage ready lean, though, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. I think again, like I've just been lucky. I've been pushed to that degree and like shown where to go with that, because as I say, if you don't know you can get to a certain stage, it's going to be fucking pretty hard to push yourself there. But and then some people can take that too far. There's a lot of things you can go into with this, and some people like run themselves like into the ground, can't they?
Yeah, depleted and flat, and
yeah, that's it. Almost like I'm trying to think of a good comparison for this here, but certainly not a good look. It's definitely not what you want to achieve. But I suppose bodybuilding and physique stuff is mostly about bodybuilding is certainly about the package that you bring, and it's not just being super lean, it's not just being big, it's not both, just shape, it's a bit of everything. And sometimes it can just come down to apples and oranges. That's a bit of a cliche, but sometimes judges just prefer one thing to another.
Exactly. And like we said last time we did a podcast, it's like the federations, which ones you're in and what preferences they have, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've never actually competed with anyone apart from the BNBF, so but I have heard a lot of people say that, like, different federations will give different feedback that can kind of like collide with each other, but that's just the way it goes, the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose. Moving on to that, like, so when you start your prep, how do you work that? Do you use like a meal plan, or do you still stick with macros?
Got to be a meal plan. Definitely. Obviously, I've got Josh prepping me, doing my nutrition and stuff like that. So whatever he says with that, and then I'll sort of tailor my own training around it and give him a little bit of info what I'm doing with that, and then we sort of adjust volume between us and see where we're at.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool. What kind of food sources do you usually use?
At the moment, everything. It's a lot of food.
Maybe I need to start prepping though.
It probably the start of it probably going to be the same foods, like obviously like cereals, bagels, chicken, mince, all that sort of stuff. All the boring bodybuilding sort of types of foods. You know, obviously, as we go along, things are going to get reduced, and then it's going to end up being like higher volume foods like sweet potato, white potato, more basmati rice, things like that. Things with a higher density volumes of food.
Yeah, so you almost start with sources that aren't amazing in terms of like nutrient profiles, and then switch on them as you get closer to the show.
It's more like calorie dense foods. Obviously, in the off season, I'm finding it really hard to eat my veg in at the moment. So I'm having like green shakes in the morning, and still managed to get some fruits in, but the veg just because it's so much fiber and it just fucks my stomach up big time. So obviously, I'm going to introduce a bit more fruit down the way, vegetables, bit by bit as I get further down into prep, and obviously more volume of food. Again.
Well, that's it. Yeah, like you generally find these cleaner sources, if you want to call it that, are like more. You get more volume for your calories, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's more nutrient dense, isn't it? Like
yeah, and that's it. Of course, like there's more nutrient dense, but like you get more food in the plate for the same amount of calories. Whereas, like an example would be, let's see if I can do this off the top of my head. Like a bagel is like what 245 calories.
I'd say so. Yeah,
and like you'd maybe get like 300 grams of sweet potato for that.
And that's dense when you look at it.
Try to think if I'm right there. Yeah, and like there's more space taken up on your plate with that sweet potato, more space taken up in your stomach as well, which is going to help you go fuller. Plus, not to mention like the fiber and shit like that. That's also going to be slower digestion and things like that. That's going to keep you feeling fuller for longer. So that makes total sense. Switching the food sources, and I suppose it makes sense switching the food sources in off season too, because if you're eating a lot of food and you're trying to eat like fucking, you'd be up to get the calories and you'd maybe be up like eating 600, 700 grams of sweet potato if you really push.
That's ridiculous. Imagine eating that. Fucking hell.
Well, I've done 500s, definitely. I've done plenty of 500s of sweet potatoes. I genuinely actually quite like sweet potatoes.
I went from white potato to gnocchi. Don't know if you've tried gnocchi before.
Never even heard of it. What is it?
So it's like these potato dumpling things. They're really, really good. Obviously, it's more denser in calories than an actual potato. So when Josh was having me using that, and really, really nice. Just depends how you cook it. Sometimes if something like
how do you spell that?
What's that? It's GNOCCI.
All right. Okay, I have had
give it a go.
I didn't know that's how you said it.
Gnocchi. So I'll put that in instead of the sweet potato, and it's just worked a treat just to get down.
Looks like you're eating at a fucking Italian restaurant or something like that.
Yeah, no, it's.
I
thought it was
share my screen here. Oh, you fuck's sake! I can't share my screen. This share your screen. Show people what you're talking about.
Let's have a look.
Probably everyone else knows what it is, but it's just me that's like a fucking retard and doesn't know what it is.
Okay, let me find this. How the fuck do I share my screen?
There's a wee button down the bottom. It's like a green button.
Oh yeah, shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, there we go.
Look at this Wikipedia page and everything.
That's it. I know it's popped up on there.
What is it?
Let me go back and I'll actually.
What?
Gnocchi.
There's going to be a load of people after this now, like trying fucking gnocchi for their off-season meals.
What's going on? Fucking hell, Google.
Right, gnocchi.
So that's okay.
I'm just reading this. So it's like semolina, ordinary wheat flour, egg, cheese, potato, breadcrumbs, cornmeal, or similar ingredients, possibly including herbs, vegetables, and other ingredients. So basically, just potatoes and a load of other shit to make up some calories.
Literally, that's it. That's it. It's really good though. Really, really good.
I'll need to try it.
It's worth it. 100% worth it.
Ever tried gnocchi, but yeah, it's sounds exciting. Sounds like something you would get in an Italian restaurant, as I say, or something like that.
No, it's let's have a look at the actual macros in it. Okay, Morrison's. That's where I get everything from because I used to live close to it. This is a weird podcast. This.
You know what I find really interesting? Like, you're saying you used to live close to that. Like James, for anyone who doesn't know, has moved into a new apartment, and he calls it an apartment. Like, whereas in Scotland, we would just call it like a flat. And
it depends.
Apartment sounds so much nicer, and we're just like so
It
like
does.
fucking dour up here, and we're like, I've got a new flat. Doesn't sound as exciting as I've got this very nice apartment.
Well, when I saw it, it came up as an apartment, so that's what I'm going to call it.
Start calling a house a villa and everything.
That's how you sell it, though, isn't it?
But yeah, I think it's just a Scottish thing. We're just like, yeah, we've got a flat and that's it. Almost some sort of like drug den. Whereas yours sounds like a nice.
Say that.
Yours sounds like a nice kind of holiday apartment or something like that.
Yeah, it's
So what have we got from 250 grams? We've got 385 calories.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. It's not too bad when you think about sweet potato. What's sweet potato? Like you said it, about 300 grams is about two.
I think 100 grams is 80 calories of sweet potato.
Yeah, it's roughly about that, isn't it? So yeah, you're looking at about 240, 50, aren't you, calories for 300. And then look at this, it's crazy. So
I need to give it a try. So do you just buy it like pre-made?
You buy it pre-made, but you've got to like cook it. You've got to like boil it, or I don't know. I've been boiling it.
So you're not like home cooking or anything like that.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, or sometimes we've got a bit lazy, whack it in the microwave, and then seeing what happens. I'm not getting ill off doing that, so it's sort of working.
So how do you usually prep your meals? Like going on to like, well, even right now, or even on your contest prep, like how do you usually prep your meals? What is your routine for that?
I cook everything at the weekend, and then I've got everything for the week. I mean, like I cook a big bowl of mince. Obviously, it's a pain in the ass because you're cooking like raw weights and there's the whole weight of food. So cooked weight, raw weight. So I sort of try and go off the cooked weight of foods, even though it's not the best thing to do, but it's more convenient. I cannot be asked cooking meals each day and all that stuff, but it's like, what is it, chicken, 200 grams of raw chicken's about 150 cooks, isn't it, because it loses the weight of the water. So and that's similar, that's similar like with potato and mince and things. So the only other one that's a bit awkward is rice, just because it depends how much water that's cooked in.
Yeah, definitely. I've had clients in the past, and I think I've mentioned this before in the podcast, but like clients in the past that have they've got confused between cooked weights and raw weights. So they're like, oh, I had 100 grams of pasta, only 170 calories. I'm like, well, it's actually double that. So you've went wrong there somewhere. I always assume weights are raw unless it's stated otherwise. Probably a bit of advice for everyone is just assume that food weights are raw unless stated otherwise. But yeah, I kind of do everything raw. So like the way I work it is, for like chicken, which is my main protein source, really, I'll cook a kilo of chicken. I'll just like shove it in the slow cooker, try and make it as easy as possible. So it means like if I put it on this morning, I can fuck off all day and come back and get it later. And then like, there's a kilo in there. So divide whatever the then cooked weight is by 10. There's what 100 grams is. So you can, from 100 grams, you can figure anything out. In terms of like rice, I got a rice cooker. That is fucking actually shout out to my mother-in-law Michelle. She bought me a rice cooker. She buys me like every like year at Christmas. She buys me like a new like kitchen appliance of some sort. Like I'm actually running out of space now.
Can't complain with that.
But yeah, so like the rice cooker again, you can fucking throw the rice in there. Like, so I'll usually do like 100-gram meals, depending on what like kind of calories I'm taking in, but usually do 100-gram meals. So like 500 grams in the rice cooker, a pint and a half of water or something like that. And then you can leave that too, because like right now I cooked some rice this morning. Right now it's sitting there, keeps it warm. You can go back to it and take whatever you need out of it for the day, or you can like split into like 5 tubs or something like that. And then I do eat a lot of sweet potatoes as well, which there's no quick and easy way around. You've got to chop those fuckers up, put them in the air fryer.
Oh, do you know what I've been doing when I had the chance? Literally buying a whole sweet potato, we'll whack it in the microwave for about fucking 6 minutes. Take it out, fucking stab it a bit more, put it back in for 3 minutes, and then bang. Literally, it's absolutely. Well, it's not the best thing to do, but,
I don't even own a microwave.
Just getting out. Do you not?
No, people always think that's quite strange.
It is quite strange.
I don't like the way food tastes out of a microwave, or like the way chicken goes or anything like that.
Oh, it goes rubbery and hard, doesn't it?
I always feel like my stomach gets kind of like bloated. Like I trained legs yesterday, and I'd eaten chicken and rice out of the microwave at the gym, and I always feel like I get this kind of bloat after it. But
right.
There might be other factors. It might be the fact I had a big fucking pre-workout like half an hour after it. But I don't know. It's always after like a microwave. And like I used to work in the gym as well at the weekends. And whenever I ate there, even if I wasn't training after it, it was the same thing. Like I'd get this like bloat, and it's like after putting food in the microwave, and I don't know what that's all about. I don't know if that's fucking all in my head. It could be.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't like them, so I don't really use them, and probably makes my life a little bit harder, but harder than it needs to be.
I probably use the microwave 3-4 times a day, just because
a lot of people cook like oats in that in the microwave. I've never.
Yeah, that's what I do
in the microwave. Never done that in my life.
How do you cook oats?
In a pot.
Fucking hell! I mean, like hot water out the kettle and
like it. Well, actually, I usually just put cold water in and let them. I feel they cook better that way.
So on a stove.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's crazy. That's like caveman shit.
I feel like it tastes better. I've never put them in a microwave though. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine me liking that.
I might give it a go, just because the protein powder. I don't know how to put protein powder in a microwave, just because I don't know what really it does to it. Apparently it DNA-ishes it, but I don't think it really has too much effect. But it goes really hard and, like I said, like rubbery, like chicken. It's not it's not nice. So I might give that a go.
So I use a protein called AGF by a company called Unrivaled, and they've got like cold processed protein within it. So like now I might be quoting this wrong, but I'm pretty sure like some of the treatments they use to make these protein powders like can destroy some of the amino acids. So cold process is actually better. So if you've got like a protein powder with cold processed, I think it's like cold processed casein or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is.
Cool.
But if you've got something like that and then you stick it in like a microwave or like hot oats, it's like you're just fucking wasting your money. Because this proteins went through this process to get cold processed rather than actually get like some of the amino acids destroyed in a kind of a higher temperature.
Is that the one with the see-through like box thing? So yeah.
And then you just go fucking stick it in your hot oats or something anyway, and it's like, well, you've defeated the purpose. But it's like quite a high quality protein, that, to be fair. Whereas like maybe if you get something like just a normal kind of whey or isolate or something like that, you're probably not going to have that stuff in it anyway, so I wouldn't worry. But yeah, certainly with something like AGF, I know the owner of that company gets pissed off when people heat up his protein. Oh, really? Like, what's the fucking point?
Well, so you're using that at the moment then?
Yeah. I use that, and I use what you call it, Perform stuff.
Oh, that's what all the flavors.
Ooh. Well, the flavors are decent, but again, I make oat pancakes, so I don't want to cook the AGF because I'm like, what's the fucking point?
Because that guy's going to go mad at you. That's why.
So I get some cheap protein for that, and like it does a fucking job.
Cool. Yeah,
I mean, again, like so with a whey protein as well. I've read studies on whey protein where it's like if you just take a whey protein by itself, it actually ends up flushing out amino acids from your bloodstream. Just like if you take like fast acting carbs, and it'll just like you get like an insulin spike and it'll flush everything to like your muscles and things like that. Same kind of idea. Like, so seemingly like if you just have a whey protein by itself, it's going to flush all the amino acids out your bloodstream, and you'll end up with lower bloodstream amino acids. I could get that study for you. Send it.
Yeah, work it up. Definitely, that'd be interesting to look
at. So like something like a protein blend like AGF is, that's where that comes in. That's where that makes sense.
Conor, so do you work for AGF?
Yeah, Conor 10 for 10% off. So yeah, I mean that's where that kind of comes in. And what I was going to say, so having something like the cheaper protein in the pancakes, where you're having it with oats, and like I've got like an egg and that in there as well, it's kind of going to slow down the digestion anyway. So that to me makes sense anyway. I may be wrong. I'm no expert in nutrition.
I mean, whey protein, it does spike like blood glucose if you have it by its own. So there might be something with that, or to do with that.
Yeah, definitely. And then like if I'm just like say I'm just having like, sometimes I'll just have like a protein shake before bed, depending on what I've eaten for that day. AGF's answer there, because like it's got slower releasing protein too. So yeah, makes sense. A blend of some sort. Doesn't have to be AGF, but if you do, use Conor 10.
I think
if I promote this more, I might actually get that discount code.
Every podcast now, that's it. You're going to be short.
Guys, welcome to the Physique Factory podcast. We are all using AGF protein. We've all gained 10 pounds of muscle. But yeah, I suppose that brings on to an interesting kind of topic. Do you think you need to use a protein powder?
It's more for convenience, I reckon. That's the most main thing. Convenience and another protein source, switching protein sources, because I don't like having more than like one protein source twice a day, just because the way what it does to my stomach. If I'm having like chicken 3 times a day or whey protein itself like 3 times a day, my stomach's not the best after doing that at the end.
Yeah, yeah. I think as well, like as you say, convenience is a massive thing. Like if, for example, if I eat a lot of chicken, obviously, but if I run out of chicken, you can have a shake with your meal. You know, if you've not got any chicken cooked or something like that, or any mince or something like that. But also, yeah, as you say, it's like another protein source. And you can have it in your oats and it tastes pretty fucking damn good. As long as you let your oats cool down first. But yeah, no, I think convenience is a big thing, even for like Gen Pop clients. And that I don't want, for Gen Pop clients, I don't want them to feel like I'm pushing them onto supplements, but it is just so easy just to have something there that you can just like run to like that. And they're usually the people that haven't got meals prepped as often or things like that.
Yeah, that's a good topic. That I mean, like push or recommending supplements to Gen Pop clients because I don't want them rattling or spending like £200 a month on supplements, because you could really push it, couldn't you, how far you go? But depends it's what the client needs and what their goal is. And
I usually just start them like as soon as the client comes in, it's like, right, let's get some I can't even say it, clenbuterol into you, and then maybe up some tests as well, just for ultimate results. That's probably like
that's so serious.
I've heard of that. I won't lie. Like very recently, I heard of PTs doing that. Like not, I don't know those particular drugs, but certainly pushing steroids on their clients as soon as they walk in the door. Like we're just talking like a normal person who's never trained in their life. Like, oh yeah, you'll get no work with this. By the way, I also sell these stuff.
Two forms of income. You got your PT and then you got your drug dealing. That's cool.
Aye, yeah. But yeah, I heard of that quite recently. Not actually local to me, thankfully, but I did hear that recently. But I bet a lot of that actually goes on. This is just like a public health message. If your PT offers you drugs, say no.
If your PT offers you drugs, kettlebell swings, or sumo deadlifts, then you know what to do with it.
That's right at the door.
I really hope I've upset someone with that.
Probably have. I've actually tried sumo deadlifts before, and see, even the feel of the exercise, it's horrible.
It feels awkward, doesn't it? Really, really awkward.
Yeah, it's not a particularly nice exercise, is it?
It's just again, it doesn't go through a large range of motion, does it? So you can't really. No. I just feel it's so demanding on your nervous system when you start loading that up, and you bang for your butt, you're getting out of his nothing. You're just going to fucking really tax your nervous system, and you're going to be so fatigued.
You'd be far better doing a conventional deadlift if that's like, if you're wanting to do some sort of hinge off the floor like that. That's going to be the answer there. But yeah, I think the reason a lot of people do like sumo deadlifts, or the people that do like them, is because you can pull a big load.
That's it. The only thing you're going to get out of sumo deadlift is being good at the sumo deadlift. That's the main thing that it's going to improve. Physique wise, it's shit. Strength wise, transferring to other things is probably not the best. Again, and they said it's too fatiguing as well. So
I'd be stronger on a conventional deadlift than I would be on a sumo anyway. I think when I've done sumos, I only got up to like 200.
I think that's just the skill of doing it though, isn't it?
Yeah, probably because I've only done it like 3 times. But,
I've literally done it once and it didn't feel right.
The only reason I even done it is because I went to see someone about like my back issues, and he said, well, he reckoned a good thing for me to do would be to try some sumo deadlifts. And I think it was something to do with like my positioning, because like I'm quite kind of hunched in the upper back. So he's trying to get me a bit more upright, which I suppose made kind of sense, but they just weren't for me. Fuck that. What have you pulled on like a conventional deadlift, James? What's your PB?
I've not done a conventional deadlift in about 5 or 6 years, but the last time I did an RDL was about 2 years ago. My hips been fucked, but that's why I'm not really doing that much. Yeah, I mean, I've got a strapped nerve. I think a sciatic nerve. It's being like really compressed, or there might be something further up back causing it. I mean, we still got down to the end of it, but again, when I did RTS, Michael said it's a deficit of one of the muscles around my hip. So we're still trying to work that out, and we're going to see what it is.
Still trying to work out what muscle it is. So
in terms of RDL, I think I got to 240 for about 4 or 5 reps. That
That's
might
decent,
and
though,
that
for
might
an RDL.
cause it.
I got a bit of sciatica doing an RDL a couple of weeks ago, but it's fine. I went back. I done it this week there. I done it and I got up to like 3 plates aside and it didn't hurt, so I'm quite confident now to push on again.
Nice.
But conventional deadlifts, I really really like them. I got 240 for free or something on that was like my PB, and that's like weighing like 80 kilos. So just getting a pound for pound chat out there because James has outdone me. but but yeah, like I really do like a conventional deadlift. But I've not been doing them a lot recently, and it's a lot of it's down to my upper back being pretty fucked. But I'm kind of slowly edging back into it. I've been doing RDLs, and I like RDLs because of the element of control we've got compared to when I do a conventional deadlift. I can get quite carried away, and then I'll start going touch and go, and that's where my back actually starts to go. I'll not be doing tidy dead stop reps, and if I could be patient enough to do dead stop reps, I'd be fine. But yeah, I'll definitely throw a conventional deadlift in again soon, I think. But for now, try to take the RDL somewhere good.
Wicked. Do you want to start wrapping this up? But first, before we do, what do you fancy doing next week or the next podcast? So that's going to be in 2 weeks, isn't it? So that's on the 17th.
Yeah, we'll do one on the 17th. Yeah,
the 17th. Cool. What have you got in mind? Just so we can keep people.
This is a bad thing to ask because we literally made this up like a day ago. We never predicted, did we?
Exactly.
We were meant to be talking about meal plans or something. We've talked a little bit about that and then just went off on a fucking tangent. But
there was no plan really, though, was there?
No, there's never really is. And hopefully you guys enjoy that aspect of it. We were meant to have someone else on with us today, but he bailed on us. So if you're listening to this, Dane, hopefully next time we invite you.
So I'll get one of my mates on next time. Hopefully they don't let me down.
Hopefully your mates are more reliable. But yeah, okay, it'll be some random shit, but hopefully there's some relevant takeaways for you guys. Like hopefully from today, there's been some stuff within our waffling that's actually going to help you. And if you've got any further questions on anything, please feel free to reach out to any of us.
Yeah, definitely fire them over.
We do have an exciting guest coming on the podcast. Not the next one, but the one after that. And we will give you guys some more information about that as soon as it's confirmed. But yeah, pretty confident he will be on. So there's a giveaway. It's a he. We've never had a female guest on the podcast. We've only ever had one guest on the podcast anyway.
Well, but,
exactly. Yeah, but for diversity, we might have to get a female guest on. 100%. Just keep all the feminists happy out there.
Digging yourself a hole now.
Better watch what I'm saying. But yeah, so hopefully Celtic get a good result today, and I'll be very happy in the next podcast.
Where's it? Are you playing at home or away?
Away.
Oh, right. See what happens then.
Exciting. James will be watching this now. He'll be a Scottish football fan.
I know all about it.
Right, guys, we'll wrap it up there. But thanks again for listening and tuning in. If you have any questions on anything that we kind of briefly waffled over today, feel free to get in touch with either myself or James. I'm on Instagram at ConorManPT. And James, what's your tag on Instagram?
It is JT_Physique Factory.
Yeah, just look up Physique Factory and you'll find us. Right, guys, thanks for tuning in again.
Cool. Cheers, guys. Bye.